Couple of questions. Milan Lucic is not here this year. Is somebody else getting the A on their jersey?
Possibly. We're going to discuss that and probably do something this afternoon, later today.
Who's the backup goalie tomorrow?
The one that's not starting.
And one more. Is there any rhyme or reason, or must be, I guess, for moving all the names around in the dressing room? They're all sitting in different spots pretty much other than the captain.
I wanted a new look.
Dave, how do you think your defensemen are kind of adapting to Mike Smith and how he kind of handles the puck?
Well, you know, it's a new dynamic back there. And Schmitty, you know, there's certain things that Schmitty does that you have to get used to a little bit, but we're trying to get lots of reps in practice. They know Koss well, but they're trying to get lots of reps with Schmitty in practice with our defensemen. So far, so good.
How big of an advantage can that be, just having a guy back there that can?
Well, I've seen it for years. I had Turco for years and Smith for years, and there's an advantage to it. Those guys, they get out, they stop a lot of pucks, they make it hard to forecheck. Our defensemen, you can get them pucks with more time to make outlet passes. So there is an advantage to it.
Dave, you talked at the start, you maybe wanted to see Connor and Leon together. The last few days at practice, you've had them separated. Today you had Nugent Hopkins with Draisaitl. Are you just looking for different combinations to see what they'll do? Because you always know that Draisaitl and McDavid, if you put them together tomorrow,
yeah, they'll still play some time together. Today was switched because of a medical issue that's come up, that we have a player has to have a procedure tomorrow, so things have to change today.
Is that your Cho?
Yeah. So he won't be in tomorrow.
Any other questions?
All right.
Dave, I just want to ask you a little bit about the coach's challenge and the video review. It's been kind of tweaked every year, expanded a little bit this year, where you could challenge something that a hand pass or a high stick that might lead to a goal, but you also get penalized if you're wrong. Like, it seems to me they say, well, here's a tool we want you to have, but we kind of really don't want you to use it. Like, how do you approach sort of how this is developed?
And then they really talk about, we only want the egregious ones. So 50-50, I'm not sure it's going to be 50-50. So it's something you got to watch close. I mean, the video guys back there looking at it, they're the guys feeling the most pressure, because hand pass or high stick or offside that's millimeters offside, those are the guys that are got to recommend yay or nay. And I can look at it quick, but those are the guys that are really under the scrutiny. So I think you got to be careful. I mean, you can't just when it first came in, there were some times when what the heck, let's challenge it. Now you got to think a little more on certain ones.
Do you think it's helpful? I mean, I just hear from a lot of fans who will say it's delaying the game. Like, I'm sitting watching, I can't really.
I think it'll take some challenges out of the game, which is, I think, the point of it. The egregious ones are going to challenge anyway. The ones that you're hoping, I'm not sure you're going to get the call.
Dave, in the room, you look at all the new names, and from what you've seen so far over the last couple of 2-3 weeks, what's your sense on this this team gelling or showing some chemistry
that's one of the parts that I've looked into deep and talked to a lot of people about, where all the personalities fit, where the leadership core is, and we've talked a lot about that as a group. And we've added some veteran players in there that I think can help the group, but we have to grow. There has to be growth in that group. There has to be an accountability of how we want to play coming from that group, just not the coaches. And I think we've got a good leadership core in there. Hopefully we continue to expand that, and they continue to grow as a group.
Dave, we talked to Adam this morning, and last season he was pretty vocal about how poorly he was playing, in his words. Have you had discussions with him at any point in terms of his assessment of last season, and can tomorrow really be a new start for him?
A little bit. We talked a little bit about last year. I talked about more his play at the World Championships, where I thought he was really good. So he understands. I mean, it's a whole new year for him. He wants to flip the page on last year and move forward. You know, we spent a lot of time with Jim Playfair already, making sure that he understands exactly how we need him to play and how we want to play as a group. So he's a student of the game. He's a quiet guy, but he's all in. He's all in. So I got no worries about him. I think he'll have a great year.
Dave, Joel Pearson was back on the ice today. How close, or is he to playing, or do you have an update on him?
Yeah, he's still a ways away. He was back on and get in the group, but he's not close to having contact or anything right now. So he's probably still at least a week away. All right, thanks.